Are you a solopreneur that got tired of social media? That's probably because your strategy behind it is all over the place trying to look for the golden mine. Hey beautiful soul, this is Aline, your content strategist, and in today's video I'm sharing with you the stages of content strategy and why we are so conditioned not to think strategically. Let's go. Having a social media strategy in place will ensure that your social media is aligned with your goals. You see, many solopreneurs try to copy other businesses' profiles to grow their social media, but taking out of context and even trying to do something they are not completely comfortable with. It's okay to grow your social media and have this love and hate relationship sometimes, wanting to just quit using it at all. And the reason is you are not getting enough paid clients, am I right? So it seems like you are working for Facebook or Instagram instead. I know the feeling, and that's because we are built to set our minds into selling a type of product, but the people we are attracting are not really into it or don't even think they have that problem, or they believe they can manage on their own, or it's too expensive. So hear this, if you are trying to make people buy from you with public content, not every small business needs a huge follow-up. What every small business needs is to be easily found online and have a spot on content that shows what they do, what their core values are, who they help, and how to contact them. The thing is, your public content not always is spot on and clear for this new environment where people are not face-to-face with you. So you need to test your content and getting better at researching needs and feedback, getting feedback on the solutions your audience is using so you can face their problems and solve them. So please remember, followers don't pay the bills, or you can learn that the difficult way. And if you don't love who you are willing to serve, well, you're not going to serve them at all. Now, before we continue, make your contribution, pay back, clicking on the like button and subscribing to the channel if this content is really a lifesaver that helps you get closer to your goals. If you are in a love and hate relationship with social media, like most of us are, understand that with a business, you are looking to connect and build relationships. If you are not doing that yet with the public content, you need to talk to people privately and start developing a better strategy, even if that strategy is moving people to another platform like a mail subscription. For you to create your own strategy or hire someone else to do that, to help you with that, like myself, you need to have a clear goal. I can help you get clear on this also, but you have to have at least a central product on your mind. Look at your own products and services and consider what products are already working very well for a full range of people. What is your best seller product? My best seller, for example, from previous experiences here in Brazil, is content strategy and social media management. You want to start from this best seller because it will be easier to create a lean and coherent content, knowing where you are leading your audience towards, to know more about the central product and how it can serve them. We are educating people about our line of work and on how we can best serve them. Focus on the best service because this is your premium solution. And if people can afford it, at least they know what to aim for. And even if you end up offering them some starter product they can experience first, they will know they can have a quicker transformational journey if they invest at this top-notch premium product. So you shouldn't be very concerned in wasting a lot of your time, energy, and money on satellites products if you do have a big product you can offer as a major shifter at those people's lives. At this point, if you are developing a product, consider testing it a lot cheaper in exchange for social proof. You can even do an immersion day to help people with X problem, answering their questions around it, so you can gather information and learn their needs, how to better serve them. For who's starting, and have no idea on their audience target, don't freeze your strategy. Look for central pieces of information based on what you help solve. This is way better than randomly creating content out of your mind. Remember, we are always tweaking our communication to our ideal client, even if we know them very well. Behaviors change. And yes, you need creative space on your content, but first, your communication needs to be aligned and functional with what you do, or it will seem like you are producing content for your own amusement. The reason why we don't function strategically is because we've been conditioned to operate as a passive consumer throughout all our lives, and we need to adjust our glasses if we want results rather than more confusing and overwhelming information on social media. This is the main reason why I'm creating these pieces of valuable content, because with good reason you already know you're in business, but you don't act like it in most scenarios on social media because you get trapped in it. And then you start replicating contents that are cute but not so helpful for your goals. So breathe in and out and understand you need time to adjust your mindset so you can produce better and change this employee or consumer subconscious program. Whatever happens, if you even stumble consuming 4 hours of random content, don't forget to remember when you are about to impulsively create an out of context content for your social media. This is not about you, but about what you like. This is about your clients and potential clients. Do they need to know this information to buy more from you, to solve their problems? Do they need to know this to make a purchase decision? Business content is not a content for the business owner. Get this tattooed on your mind. You can share personal things and interests that can have lots of engagement, but don't make your business profile about it because suddenly you think personal performs best on social media, which probably does, but it can go the other way around because you're not aiming to be famous. And if you're not established business yet with tons of recognition, you can seriously take the focus away from what you are educating people on, that is transforming them into buyers and transforming their lives, okay? So we covered that base, establishing a goal and the right mindset to sell X product to help with X problem. Now is the time to investigate and study the market behavior. We are covering more on strategy now, but of course, I have to help myself reminding you to subscribe to the channel. So if you haven't done that already, do that right now. It can take up to 25 hours to study and really delve deep into what kind of content your business requires right now to sell X amount of your products and services. That's why every virtual assistant like myself, that is also a digital strategist, will spend mostly 45 days figuring out your business and how to market it, so you won't waste a lot of time producing random content that will not work. A content strategy usually gives us content for the next 6 months. And that doesn't even mean that you'll be covered every day for 6 months, because first, your social media needs your personal touch. That comes from leveraging your experience along that period of time to share insightful content to your audience. And if you hire the social media management after hiring the content strategy, you will also have some guidance on how to do that, share your practice and experience on lives, other pieces like stories, if that's your case. Second, if during the strategy implementation we learned something is not working on the content as well as we intended, it's a lot easier to keep track when we have a strategy. We can tweak it a lot faster. And if we don't have a strategy plan in place that everyone on the team can access and analyze, well, let's say it takes way longer to communicate and adjust. From all this information, you can imagine now why the strategy is worth at least 3 times more than the monthly content implementation. For the record, know that all jobs and tasks at the strategic level pay way more than jobs or tasks at a tactic or operational level. How about the stages for the content strategy? Let's talk about them now. The 10 stages of content strategy creation developed by my teacher, Regiane Toigo, here in Brazil. So here we go. Number 1, have a clear objective for the next 6 months. We covered that already, but for you to really understand why is this the first step, keep in mind that if you change the goal, you change the strategy. Your strategy needs to change at the same moment as your goal changes, or you can end up with a strategy that is not going to serve you. Number 2, find your DNA content. That means your branding, what differentiates you from others. Number 3, discover personas. Who are the people most prone to buy from you? Who are the buyers with the problem that your product solves? Number 4, understand the buyer's journey. What are their trajectories, the path that they go to as a consumer to get the solution for this kind of problem? Where do they go to find products and services, and how can they get to your product or service? Number 5, map channels of distribution. It's time to decide on which platforms you're going to be in distributing your strategic content. Number 6, build editorial lines. What are the topics that serve as a bridge between your client and your product? Number 7, envision the content and the sales funnel. Where does the content fit in? In what degree of complexity are we creating content for people that are understanding the problem, they are understanding the solutions, or they are already considering available products? The content depth differs for each awareness level. Number 8, it's time for the visual ID and setting the tone with the language. What are the recommendations for color scheme, social media photos, language expressions? And number 9, review the strategy. This is important when you are executing the strategy. And at least number 10, this is the document, the strategy document, where you can access all the strategy, all the gathered information, and share. So with this document, if you are a social media, you're going to present this document to your client in a more or less 5-hour presentation via PowerPoint or a website, and the client has 7 days to request any changes. So it's important wherever you do, if you do your own strategy or you hire someone to do that for you, that you fall in love with this strategy. Having a document that you can access easily, and also later on, if you like, bring other team members, it's important. And if you have a business partner, you need to give them this presentation if you were doing on your own the strategy, of course. But if you hire someone else to do that and you have a business partner, please make sure that he is or she is at this presentation so you can approve it together. So that were the 10 steps of the content strategy. But what about the strategy taking place in real life, implementing this strategy? Well, I'm not gonna lie, it's easier to implement with the social media, but you cannot hire one. You can still give it a try, build up the skills, abilities. With the strategy, you can still hire the content strategy and implement it on your own. And that's because the strategy contains titles, contains some instructions on how to do that. Not all the instructions, of course, for you to graphic design and build a text, but the main information of the soul of the strategy is there, so you can develop the skills on your own. If this was an eye-opening moment for you, let me know in the comments. And now you know the reasons why I recommend every solopreneur I know to start thinking strategically rather than randomly posting. If you are thinking about hiring a content strategy for your business, I invite you to schedule a discovery call with me. You can book this 30-minute video call clicking on the description link here below this video. And it was a pleasure sharing important information with you. I really enjoyed myself in the whole process of creating content. And if this was a winner content for you, stay put, join the community, and support by subscribing to this channel, sharing this content with your entrepreneurial friends. And I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye.